As unpaid federal workers struggle with tough financial choices during the shutdown, a federal employees union has decided to bring a lawsuit against the Trump administration. We're joined by Attorney Steve Babin to discuss whether this lawsuit has merit and maybe where it's going to go. Steve, we've seen this before. We saw 2013 lawsuit was brought on behalf of union workers. The way I see this is there are essential union workers. I mean, they truly are essential. If we don't have law enforcement, federal law enforcement, we have a problem. If we don't have federal firefighting, we got a problem. Give me your take on where this is going.
So where this is going, Pap, is there are essential employees, like you said, and those essential employees have filed a lawsuit against the government on behalf of all of the essential employees, and there's over 400,000 of them who are working currently without pay. The lawsuit's going to go, what will probably happen, Pap, is Congress will institute legislation to give back pay to these employees.
Did we see that before?
We did see that before. However, the lawsuit stays alive because there are penalty damages under the law which they sued under. It's called the Fair Labor Standards Act, and those penalty damages provide for basically double back wages. The federal government owes you $100, but you sue them, they owe you $200 under the Fair Labor Standards Act.
The statute provides that.
The statute provides that. They're called liquidated damages.
Okay, well, so here's the way this is problematic. First of all, if I look back in the 2013 lawsuit, a judge did say, if my memory is correct, a judge did say, yes, we're going to give you these double damages. Some of those people are still waiting to be paid. And so I guess it's good on paper, but what does it, how are, let's humanize this. How are federal workers, how are they affected by this? Because we miss that, don't we?
I think we absolutely miss that, Pap. I think that the administration itself misses it too. It's a sign of how detached the Trump administration is from day-to-day realities of the government workers. But in America today, if a regular average worker, say a TSA employee, goes 2 weeks without pay, well, that's going to be problematic. And if they go a month without pay, it could be detrimental to their family. So on a day-to-day basis, you have the Office of Personnel Management issuing emails and letters to the employees saying to do things like this with your landlord. If you can't pay rent this month, offer to paint the house or do some maintenance.
Wait, back up. The government is involved in the unions, and the government, I guess, are trying to tell these people how to stay alive. So
that's right.
So this first anecdotal information, go paint a house if you can't pay the bill.
Yeah, these are sample letters that were provided online by the Office of Personnel Management. They were taken down after they got some bad publicity, but one of the options was to tell your landlord, I'm not getting paid right now. I'll paint the house, or do you need some maintenance done? If that person may or may not have some maintenance skills, and that's how you stay alive and get the rent paid.
Yeah. Okay. So it's deplorable that we've gotten to that point, but it's just so ridiculous that it almost is laughable to tell an employee. Some of these people have been in this for 15, 20 years. Gee, I'm sorry you can't get paid. Work something out with your landlord. Work something out with the grocery store. Work something out with the gas station where you have to buy fuel. So the human factor on this is huge. Look, first of all, there are about 2 million federal employees, little more than 2 million federal employees. Out of there, about 450,000 do fall into that class of essential employees. Explain what essential employee is. I mean, that's a classification of federal employees. What is it?
It's a classification, just like you said, Pap. Someone who protects the health and safety of individuals in the government. Also, individuals that work in the judiciary are generally termed essential employees. They try to keep the courts running. Oftentimes, only the criminal courts will remain running. I know currently, or when they shut down the U.S. Attorney's Office, they'll shut down the civil side first, and they'll shut down the criminal side second. Is the way it'll work. So the line is drawn. Basically, if that person's protecting the health and safety of anyone in our country, then their job's essential.
Do the unions, I'm curious, have the unions planned on, surely they're looking ahead. The unions are taking money from employees. They know that shutdown is always possible. Have they put together any kind of workable fund that I don't know what to call it, an emergency distress fund? I mean, well, look, we're asking federal firefighter to go put their life on the line. And oh, by the way, Mary, oh, by the way, Joe, we can't pay you for that, but we're good for our word. Well, no, they're not really good for their word, because we know what happened in 2013. 2013, the federal government said, yes, Mr. Firefighter, we owe you double. And they still haven't paid them to this day. These people have not been paid that double. What's your take?
So the unions don't have, as far as I know, a distress fund for this situation. However, this lawsuit and the employees infected aren't just union employees. There are employees that are in federal unions, and there are employees that aren't. And the union's lawyers tagged along with the lawsuit and filed the complaint, along with some civil lawyers, civil trial lawyers in D.C. that filed on behalf of everybody, union and non-union employees.
Steve, thanks for joining me. This has potential to go on for quite a while.